You are watching Radio Rakim's Artist Access.
Access granted.
Welcome back to another episode of the Artist Access. I am your host, Siraj Rich God. I'm Puwakanan Hotep, and I am here with one of my poetic brothers who I seen this guy when I first came out here in 2017. And when I first jumped out on the portrait scene, I seen this guy was always in these poetic streets doing his thing. And he was a different type of poet to me. I never saw poet do comedy poet. Yeah, you had a lot of comical poets, right? So I was used to seeing like the more deep spiritual type of poetry, right? Mm-hmm. So when I saw you do your style of poetry, I was like, man, that was cool. I was like, man, that's different. You know what I'm talking about? I haven't wrote one yet, but I'm like, you inspired me. I wanna go off into that lane of poetry, right?
Oh yeah.
So I have none other than my brother Kyle Blue is with us this evening. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be out. I'm happy at this point in my life. I'm happy to be anywhere. So
yeah.
I'm cool. Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. And I wanted to tell you, thank you, man. You popped up on me when we had the Artist Access experience.
Yes.
Our first showcase like that, and I was surprised to see you. Right, I didn't expect to see you. Right.
Somebody invited me out.
Yeah.
TJ, she's sweet.
Okay.
She invited me out. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. I'll come.
Yeah.
Because she, it's cool to like when you know people and they can invite you to different things. Right. I kind of knew about it, but yeah, she told me. I was like, oh, and it was a great experience. Great crowd.
That's what's
nice.
up.
It was my first time here.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. So now I got you in the hot seat, you know what I'm saying? Been trying to interview you. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to I like to interview all the poets that I know out here and just upcoming poets, just people period that got some dope stuff going on, right? Mm-hmm. So man, you got some books going on right now, right, man?
Yes.
You done turned into the author.
Yeah, so what happened was I like calling myself like the dynamic storyteller. I do, poetry, comedy mix, but it is form of storytelling that I do. I kind of mix it all up, just, act some stuff out. I have a good time. Yeah. And what got me into creating comic books, right? So I have a comic book, right? Yeah. So, and what got me into it was an unexpected way was, I grew up reading comic books. Right. My son, he liked comic books. He loved anime. Mm-hmm. We watched the comic book movies. We fans. But, about 3 years ago, he passed away. Right. He passed away, and it was a tragedy that I felt, a personal tragedy to me. And then the way he chose to go about it, it's like he took his own life. Wow. And my thing was, okay, well, what now? Mm. So when after that happened, then I started trying to focus on, letting people know I'm okay. So the first thing I did was I did a one-man show. Now, before I was doing one-man shows, they were based on pretty random things, so it almost didn't really have like a deep meaning or significance, right? Mm-hmm. When my son passed, then I learned that I can have a show themed around something. Mm. So I did a show, and it was, I called it "Give Me My Flowers," and it's kind of like a satirical way of saying, okay, you can give your flowers to other people, but okay, now I want my flowers in return. I've been through stuff too. Right. Give you my flowers, and it was kind of a funny way of going about it, but it was also themed around the ups and downs of life, how to move forward through, personal, like great losses. Right. But it is a part of life. When my son died, I was like, well, what's now? Right. What now? Like, what am I supposed to do now? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to like reach out to people, let them know that, I'm okay. I choose to move forward in a positive way. But then I also want to reach out to people and see if they can relate, which a lot can. They can, become more relatable to a lot of people that's suffered similar losses and tragedies. I mean, death is common, but when you lose a death of a loved one, such as your child, then that's not the necessary, the circle of life.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the circle of life is like you grow up, you live, you see your parents pass, you might see, you know, your brother, sister pass, but you know, your child, that's like, you know, that's different. You know, so when it happened to me, it was a shock, and it was a shock to a lot of people that, you know, reached out. And what I did was I was able to make a comic book in honor of him, right?
Right.
So I called it Langley. So the book that I made called Langley is about a father who loses his son, all right? But then somehow his son comes back, and somehow only his father can see him, and they have a journey together along with their pet goat. Right. So people think, you know, and the goat thing is pretty. It's a pretty cute way of telling the story, right? And it was, the story is inspired by the selfie that I took with my son for my birthday the year before he passed, and basically like me, my son, and there's the goat that took a selfie with us. So we thought that was pretty funny.
Right.
But I did make a story about that. You know, the challenge was how to incorporate the goat into the story, but that was just, you know, it was pretty neat. And, you know, but it's basically a supernatural story. I call it Langley. Like I said, it's a fictional story. I call it Langley because that's the name of the son.
Right.
And basically it's also paying homage to the neighborhood I grew up in. I grew up off of Homestead on the northeast side.
Yeah.
And the street I grew up on was called Langley. So Langley is his name, but that's also paying homage to, you know, my old neighborhood.
Right.
But that's where I grew up. And then, but this is like, you know, about a year ago. So people have received it pretty well. I also have a new book coming out called A Black-Eyed Susan, and it's about a young black girl in elementary school. She has autism, and she's being raised by her single mother, you know, that's trying to, you know, balance her life and what she wants to do around her daughter's special needs and learning to be, you know, the parent she needs to be for her young daughter. And her daughter has limited comprehension and understanding. So the whole book is told through haiku poetry because she has like limited speech and comprehension. So the whole book is it's a comic book, but it's also like a poetry book as well because it's all haiku, like all the narration and text is in dialogue. It's all written in haiku poetry. Even the explanation of some of the story, what the story's about on the rear cover, is all in haiku. So I just, you know, like I said, again, writing comic books, I seek, you know, some type of originality, some type of innovation. Even when I'm on stage performing, I try to have a unique approach, and just be engaging and entertaining for people and become more impressionable. But I do seek like different types of innovation with people, you know, when I'm telling my stories and all of that. But that's what I like, and I take pride in, and I enjoy the challenge of it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I you know, that's why I do what I do. I mean, I don't know why I can't help I think the way I think, but that's why I enjoy being that type of artist.
Right. So the book about your son, what kind of inspired you to, as far as the storyline of him coming back?
Well,
Any truth to that? Do you like have any kind of interactions with your son, like in the dream world, dream state type thing?
So in the
talk to me now.
So okay, the reason I went with the approach of, you know, yes, the son comes back, you know, is because if I could rewrite like how everything happened, this is kind of how it would look, you know, because when my son died, there were questions. It wasn't like he left a note or anything. It was bizarre. But my thought was, well, where did he go? You know, like, where is he? Or is he okay right now? Like, he transitioned. I believe to learn later and, you know, to live with some peace that I believe that he's okay. He's probably, you know, in peace now. He's, you know, he's recovered from whatever it was that he was suffering from. I didn't know he was suffering, but I do have that sense of peace that way. I don't blame anyone for it. That's just something he decided to do. So You know, that way I can sleep well at night. You know, I don't have to blame anyone. It was just something that he did. He wanted me to know that was his decision. Um, as far as dreams, I mean, I think I may have had like, from what I can recall, I may have had like maybe one dream where I did interact with him, but it was an odd thing. I don't know what the meaning of it was. It felt real, but it was like he was, you know, a younger version of himself, you know, a younger version, and then he was wearing like these goofy glasses, and I'm laughing out like, why are you wearing these goofy looking glasses? And he laughed, and then I woke up.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
so I don't, you know, but it's not. I don't really get those, you know, like regular,
Right.
you know, but I believe in the spirit world because that's what I also learned too. Because when he died, it was like, where did he go? I had to do research, and that kind of led to me coming up with the ideas of making my book, to having some understanding of like the afterlife, the spirit world, all those things, and kind of put some of that in it. But see, what I aim for when I create my books is creating for the casual reader, so it's not like too out there, too, you know. But I did have some understanding. But I think for me, I know that he's in peace. I know that he's always around me. So that's kind of like what the book shows. It's like, you know, they have a bond, and they're always around each other. The good thing in the book is that it shows a father interacts with his son. You know, they can interact with each other back and forth. You know, unlike in reality, it's like, I feel like he's around me, but I can't really. He can see me, I can't see him.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, but like I said, if that was a way I could rewrite everything, you know, I mean, especially passing on his memory in more of a positive light, not in a sad way, but a positive way.
Right.
That's why I wanted to like do that book, you know,
Right.
because, you know, but I think he's okay. I think it's something for me to learn from all of it.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to like show and teach others. Right now, I'm focusing on working with like students, different people. But there is a school that I have to. If I get the approval with the superintendent, I'll be able to be a part of a mentorship program, because what I learned was the father presence with children. A principal just told me this past Friday was that a lot of mothers are involved with students, the children. You know, you see that a lot, but you don't see a lot of like fathers. And then there's some students that are like, they don't have a father around. They want more male figures. They want more male role models. But I don't think people understand or express the importance of like a father figure in their presence. What I didn't realize when I made my book was I wanted to showcase kind of like what my relationship was with my son, that father-son dynamic. But what I didn't realize was that is like something that's really needed out in society, you know. Because like I grew up and it was like, you know, my father didn't live with me. You know, I was raised by my mom. My father I saw on the weekends, you know. And right now you got children that want to see their fathers more involved or have some male role model or some male presence, you know, because a lot of times, you know, you got there's a lot of single parents out there, you know, and they may not want a father presence around, but they might have, you know, some cousin, some uncle, some friend, somebody that can kind of fill that role, but sometimes they don't go to that.
Right.
You know, and to create a balance in a child's life, they kind of need the male and the female, you know. But people don't want to really acknowledge that, but it's a real thing, you know. Like when you watch Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl, it was like some of the underlying messages in his performance was the male and the feminine energy, you know. Like he brings SZA out, and he got like she represents the female energy, right? The feminine energy, you know. And it's just so many balances out there that if you want a person to grow up and be balanced, it is important to have like, you know, a male female dynamic with raising that child and having that balance, you know. But that's, you know, unexpectedly when I read my book, that's kind of what it spotlights.
Right.
You know. but that's what I'm beginning to step into, which is like, oh, that is important. I mean, I always knew it was important, like, but that was just for me personally.
Right.
But a lot of it's needed.
It's needed. Yeah.
It is needed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, but like I said, me just being positive. You know.
Right.
Yeah. And I like to have fun. You know.
So take us back to the beginning of your journey as being a poet. Like how far you go back as far as doing poetry out here in Houston, and
man,
how did all that start for you?
I was literally just talking about that with someone. So I think I stepped onto this scene around 2004.
Okay. And
the venue was called Bazzano's at the time. And then I was reading off the notepad. I got into it by accident because I was in college at TSU, Texas Southern University, and we were supposed to do a presentation on something in the psychology class, and then I ended up pulling a stunt because I was like, man, I don't want to write no boring presentation, assignment, whatever. And I did a whole poem, and then it was pretty interesting, and they liked that. And then I actually looked it up online, and I found that they was doing poetry every Sunday.
Right.
You know, it was, the Poetry Lounge. I don't know if they called it the Poetry Lounge back then,
right.
but it was just like Poetry at Bazzano's or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was Skeff that had like a listing of all the poetry events that was going on. And I was like, oh, Sunday, that'll work for me. Okay. And I went off of that. And then I went there, and it was downtown, where, and then it later became the Shadow Bar, after I started. So I was there for like a year or two. Then it became like the Shadow Bar, and then that became like the bigger thing. And it was fun. But like I said, I started off reading off the notepad. I was rough around the edges, so I didn't come up like, knowing any poets, being exposed to any of it. At that time, it was just like Def Poetry on TV, which, and I wasn't really into like how they were doing it. It was fascinating, but I came with like my own style, my own approach. But, I was doing the rhyme scheme, the ABAB rhyme scheme, and then I would just pick different topics, and every week I'll present like a new poem, and I'll read it. And then I started finding ways of becoming more entertaining and then Seven would call me the shock poet because I'll just say these things, right? And then later, I think I transitioned off of the notepad into like actually like performing, and then I could tell the stories, and the stories that I would tell would be structured a certain way, but then I wouldn't even write it down. I just go off, I write it in my head, and then I can do it that way. So I transitioned to that. And then other things that I would rhyme, I would memorize, and I'd take practice and stuff. So I learned how to be more of a performer as years went on. And I got better and had a better presence, with it all. Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of started off with the comical style of poetry when you first jumped in the game?
I think the first poem I did was it was a serious poem, but it was about my father being in. He was a civilian working in Iraq as a truck driver during the war, out there, and I did a poem dedicated to him. And then I came back, and then I started getting more into some more comical things, And I think I did a poem about being in a relationship. And it ended up being kind of comical, but then people liked it. It was funny. And then so it was like, oh. And then I just started doing more like things like, because my mentality was I want to write and share poetry that I would like to hear, and that I didn't get to hear from like the other poets that were doing stuff. Because I went there, like my first night at Bazzano's, I was like, whoa, because I think it was like Black Poet and Ray and Jerome Washington, and I think it was Keisha and some other people, Killer Whale. They was doing some stuff, and I was like, whoa. And then when I got up there to do stuff, I was like, well, I want to talk about this that they not talk about. I want to have my own angle, and actually, and then the stuff that people get to see from me is like stuff I want to see, And I just I got to have some fun. It was cool.
Right.
But it's a challenge being creative, And in the beginning, I was dismissed because I wasn't doing it the way they were doing it. I didn't come up like, And I was like my own thing, you know. Still am my own thing, but I just stay as me, you know.
Right,
So,
right.
but that's me.
No, that's originality is key. You know what I'm saying? So that's a
Yeah,
good thing. Yeah,
but you be on the outside looking in too. You know, unless you show up at work.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
no, man. It's cool to be not cool and original. Yeah,
Right.
but it's harder.
Right.
You gonna be on the outside looking in a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because because you don't fit their mold, right?
Right.
Everybody else is on one accord, and I'm over here.
Yeah.
When Sarah introduced me back in the day, he'd be like, "This person's unpredictable. I don't know what he's gonna say." Da-da-da. What views expressed by this poet is not that of the establishment. It was like those type of introductions. Because but I was also taking risks too.
Okay.
You know, I was,
Yeah.
and I crossed the line before early on. You know, I mean, I know now, but and I mean, it's a maturity with me too. So it's like I don't have to go against the grain like back. But back then, it was like, it's like I started doing shows called Banned from Stage because it was almost kind of making fun of like when I used to really kind of go against the grain and get in trouble. I almost got in trouble for some stuff I did. Thankfully, they did not ban me for real because then I've been like, it would like stunt my growth if they banned me for real. But that was the risk or whatever. I mean, I don't know. It's like if I'm an artist, I'm on stage, I'm doing something. It is a purpose. It is a take a risk. I mean, it's hard to have a conscience of whatever too. So to doing the art,
Right.
It's like a balance.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't have to be risky, but that's what I just chose to do at times.
Yeah.
Because you gotta live your life outside. When you walk out that stage, you still gotta live your life.
Right. Right.
But it's just balance.
Right.
So I'm more balanced now than back in the day.
Well, I can't wait to see you spit a little bit later on in the show, man. So before we get up out of here, let the people know where they can find you at, where they can find a book at, your social media.
Yeah, so if you want to get my book, right, it's online on my website. It's www.theincrediblecowblue.com. Or you can just follow me on Instagram or Facebook at The Cow Blue. If you want, you can just Google The Cow Blue and like all my stuff show up. I got articles written on me from writing my first book, Langley. It has links to my website and my all my social media. Just type The Cow Blue. Just Google The Cow Blue. Like when I say Google me, The Cow Blue. Don't type Cow Blue because a whole bunch of random stuff gonna come up. Type The Cow Blue, all my stuff come up. All right, The Cow Blue. TheKyleBlue. Yeah.
All right, man. So look here, man. We got some more dope artists in the building. So y'all stay tuned because this is the Artist Access, and your access has now been granted. Yeah. Hold you over beat. My homeboy made that track down. That shit came with too. Yeah. Man. Damn, I can't get a hug or a kiss. So why can't you clean up the house and have a cooked meal sometimes when I come home?
I'm not your mama.
And I ain't your daddy either.
Look, I already told you I'm not going to be dealing with you if you're going to be doing all this going out of town. I already know you got a female up there. That's why you going.
I was looking for you, but I didn't see your car. Okay. What you looking for my car for?
D-Ray must got it again.
So how did the interview go?
I had to reschedule. If you would have given me a debit card to get some real gas money, I would have went.
Okay, so where have you been? You've been gone in the car all day. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Is there anyone else?
Look, somebody said, come on now.
You are my husband. You've been gone all night, and you don't think I should question you about it?
I don't put none past these hoes, you feel what I'm saying? They get all dressed up and go out to eat with their work husbands, you feel me?
Hey, I need to talk to you about some business.
Not at the moment. I'm a little busy.
We can talk about it on the way. You want to take my car, yours?
No, I'm gonna need that time alone in the car to think. I'm going to lunch. I'll be back.
First they get busy, then they get distant.
gotta keep in mind, you've been on my.
Welcome back to the Artist Access. I am here with my next guest of the evening. I am here with the lovely Miss Rosie Bush. How you doing, Queen?
I'm doing amazing.
Glad to have you here today.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes, ma'am. So, Rosie Bush, how did you come up with that name, Rosie Bush?
Well, I'm the rose that grew from concrete.
Aha.
But I cultivated myself into the bush that I am today.
Okay.
And of course, it took a lot of work. But I'm here today, and I'm proud of it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, I met this young lady. She was performed at the Cinema 6.
Yes.
Or KO, The Conspiracy.
Definitely.
And we connected that day, and I told her I had to get on the show. So take us back to your journey as being a singer out here in these H-Town streets. Like, how did it all start for you?
Yes. Well, I'm going to be honest. I started off with musical theater. That was my passion.
Okay.
I got more into music at age 12 when my brother took me to the studio. He's also an artist.
Okay.
He has a radio station. He, he encouraged me to, do music and actually record it, and then also encouraged me to go more into hip hop. And then I started listening to Lauryn Hill and MC Light.
So hold on, you be spitting too?
Queen Latifah, yes I do.
What?
I have a track called F Love.
What? Okay.
Of course, the title is it's a little bit misleading.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the lyrics, you'll understand that it's more than just saying F Love.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring a message to my music.
Right.
That 1990s style and feeling, that storytelling.
Yeah.
Back to music. A real message.
Yeah. Awesome. So you were singing first, and then you kind of fell into doing a little hip hop too?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I've always been a singer. And I had a couple of friends, and of course my brother, that encouraged me to start rapping.
What's your brother's name?
His artist name is EDOZ Classics.
Okay.
Yes,
Did he perform that day too?
No.
Okay.
No. He hasn't performed in
Was
a
he
while.
there? He was out there?
No,
Okay.
Not that day, no.
Okay.
He but back in the day he used to perform and work along with different Missouri City artists. And that's where I'm from.
Okay. Yeah. I was staying in Missouri City at the time.
Definitely.
And I didn't realize the event was like 5 minutes from where I was staying at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We want to do more of that for the community.
Yeah.
That's where we're from,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And it's not a lot of things that are hosted in our city. And we're trying to bring that back. We're trying to bring light and, bring Missouri City to the map.
Yeah. You sound like you could do something. You ever did poetry?
Yes. That's what before I
Yeah.
sang, that's what I used to do. I
Okay.
used to do poetry, and I remember my 3rd grade teacher
Right.
encouraged me to make it into a song.
Wow.
She saw that I could sing. She was like, wow, you have a beautiful voice. And I did every poem perfectly. I wrote poetry in the 8th grade. I wrote a graduation poem for my graduating class when I was going to the 9th grade. And they would encourage me to write music, put choruses to my well, I say lyrics, but choruses to my words.
Yeah.
So I decided to do that, and my brother hooked me up with a few producers that we were working with, and it just went from there.
Right. That's what's up, man. So I didn't know you did poetry, right?
Oh yeah.
But talking to you, as soon as you start talking for the interview, I got that from you right quick. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. I haven't done it in a while, but I could definitely tap back into it.
Yeah. I mean, if you still write music, that's poetry. You know what I'm talking about?
It definitely is.
Yeah. Because I started out, I'm a poet as well, but I started out doing hip hop first.
Okay. Yes.
But I was always doing conscious hip hop. So when I transitioned to poetry, it was I was just writing the same type of style of words.
Right. That's
just
my
doing it
type
without
of hip hop. Exactly.
no music to it, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you be on that conscious stuff. You're trying to talk to the
Definitely.
people, right?
Definitely.
So you kind of your music is the same way. It reflects that.
It really is.
Okay. So what inspired you to want to be that type of an artist?
Swear I was raised.
Probably was born like that. Huh?
Yes,
It's already within you, like that.
that conscious life, neo soul, hip hop, music, old school music, that old new, it chose me. I mean, my parents, if they were alive today, my mom would be 70 and my dad would be 75. I'm 34. So they were older than a lot of my peers' parents. And they taught me different ways. My mom from Montgomery, Alabama. My dad, he's a Texan, Texas native in Victoria. You know, both country, but very, you know, high morals. So that's the way I was raised. So I want to bring that to my music and bring that to the table. And, you know, and let them know that there is hope for my generation when it comes to that. So, yes, I want to bring that that message, that positive message back to music.
So do you kind of flip it up on your projects? Like, do you put a little poetry on your music, on your music?
Definitely.
Yeah.
My next project, well, not next. It's going to be my first project. It's going to be my first EP. I plan to release it by the end of the year.
Okay.
I've been working on it for a little over 6 years.
Yeah.
With getting everything together, with copywriting, producers, and things like that. Taking out tracks.
Yeah.
Putting tracks in. Making new tracks. I'm not too much a perfectionist, but I'm a hard judge on myself.
Oh, yeah.
So I know that everybody's like, it's not going to be perfect, but I want it to be to my liking. So I take my time, and I've been taking my time with my project. And now I believe it's ready.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely ready.
Oh, yeah. Now, you said theater. So that you was doing stage plays and stuff like that?
Oh, yes. In middle school and in high school. I know in middle school I was in the Wiz. I played Auntie M.
Okay.
I went for Dorothy, but I didn't get the role.
Right.
I didn't get the role because I couldn't fit the costume. But I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. I couldn't fit the costume. But she said that I have a very soulful voice, so she wanted me to be Auntie M. So, and I felt that. I was like, you know what? If anybody could bring in that soul in the 6th grade, my mom was like, that's going to be you. Because she always said that my voice was made to sing over a choir.
Yeah.
So, and I feel that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So have you you thinking about getting back on theater or maybe even acting, some films and whatnot?
Definitely. I actually was just in a film that's released on Tubi and Prime Video. It's called False Prophets, where I play Adina Howard's sister.
Okay.
Yes, it was, when was it released? Beginning of this year, I think January 7th.
Okay.
And it's out now for y'all to tune in on Tubi. It's called False Prophets.
Yeah, who put that out?
It is a Maverick Films production.
Okay.
What's his name? John Wayne III is the producer of it. And he's the one that actually contacted me. I wrote 3 tracks for the movie. And but co-starred in the movie as well. Very good movie. It's a good message.
So they've been looking for you, particularly to be a part of this project.
Definitely. And I felt good about that.
Yeah.
I felt good that I was recommended.
Yeah.
And you know, and they, you know, I was chosen. So I think that's a blessing in itself. When you're recommended and your work speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So that's a big blessing.
Yeah, I do film too. I'm acting, do film, working on. I just released a short film in February called Dreams, and I'm about to start working on another film. I'm doing like a chakra movie, right?
Yeah.
Where I got people that's gonna be playing as the chakras. Like my character is gonna actually meet his chakras. So I need some
like
chakras.
that.
I need people to actually play as some chakras.
Yes,
So,
definitely. That's something I would be interested in.
Yeah.
I like that. I definitely trying to get back into the scene with theater and just acting all together.
Right.
Definitely trying to put my name out there as an actress. If you Google, I will come up as an actress, but it is with my government name.
Okay.
Not with Rosie Bush. I do take on my my government name for my acting roles, so I don't act as Rosie Bush.
Okay, so what should we Google to find your acting accolades?
Well, my acting, I only have one movie out.
Right. Come on, give it to
well,
us.
I don't like to give my government name. But you can find the movie False Prophets.
False prophets. You find what false prophets, and you might find her name somewhere
Exactly.
connected
If you
to the
look
movie,
down,
right?
You may see me. You may see me in the credits. You may not. With
Yeah.
the credits, it does come up as Rosie Bush. So I'm glad about that. They put that in the
Okay,
credits. But if you look at the IMDb, it comes up my government. If you Google my government, it'll come up as actress. So I feel good about that. But also, my artist name, Rosie Bush. That's another thing. If you Google that, all of my work
Everything
will come
coming
up.
up. Yeah.
That's what I want y'all to see.
Rosie Bush. I like that name, Rosie Bush. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
So I'm glad that you've tapped into your creativity in those different lanes, because I believe that all of those lanes are connected, right? I believe if you could do one,
Right.
you could
I
pretty
feel
much
that
do
too.
the others, because they're so connected.
It
you know?
is.
It's all expression,
It
right?
is,
And
definitely.
and I think we should be expressing ourselves in every lane and vehicle there is possible. I want to even start painting. I never painted nothing in my life,
Yeah.
but I want to paint something. You know what I'm talking about?
I've been doing that with my daughter. My daughter has been encouraging my skills because she's a painter.
Yeah.
So yes, I believe that if you're talented in one skill, like singing or acting, it comes hand in hand.
And you'll be
Yes,
surprised
with
at
painting
what you
and-
can do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I actually want to go into screenplay writing. Just short stories. I want to start off with short stories. I used to do that in high school.
Yeah.
That's something I want to tap back into. A childhood friend that used to do it with me in high school with the screenplays and just writing different short stories and anecdotes.
Right.
She was like, hey, if I'm still doing it, then you need to start doing it again.
Yeah.
So that was
yeah.
inspiration for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just finished a book. I have a book about to come out.
Ooh, yeah.
So whoever thought I'd be an author, right?
Right? Oh my gosh.
But
I'm still afraid to write a book.
Nah, it's like, hey, I got the idea when I first moved out here. I moved out here from New Orleans in 2017, right?
Okay.
And I've been doing music since like 1996, 97. I got signed to a record label in New Orleans in 97. And I had just started doing music like a year before. But when I moved out here in 2017, I was like, I just got this idea. I was like, man, if I could write albums, if I could write music, I could write a book, right?
Definitely.
And I've been studying like esoteric knowledge like for years. I've been like in them books and just on my spiritual journey for years, and I've learned a lot. And I was like, I want to share this information.
Right.
Like my poetry, my
Be a
music,
let
all
it
of
be a
that is the same
testimony.
thing. Like my music, my poetry, all is this is me sharing
Right.
information.
Yes.
Even the movies, it's just me. I'm trying to teach through the arts. So like, but with the book, now it's like the book, I can just straight give you the information. I don't have to dress it up for you.
Right.
I can just give you the information in its pure form, and I feel so good and free about that
Right.
to just give it to you. And so I'm excited about the book. So like I'm saying, like, get them stories together. You know what I'm talking about?
Definitely.
Because like I said, man,
definitely.
it's so much that's
So I'm
been
gonna
placed
be the
in
director.
us. Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
But I believe like we it's so much that's been placed within us. And it ain't just to be sitting in there. You got to get it out. You got to get it out of here. You know what I'm talking
And
about?
I've learned just like the words of the I'm a big fan of his, Michael Jackson. He was a firm believer of if God gave it to you and you don't use it, he will give it to somebody else.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he would
Oh, yeah.
quickly go to the studio,
yeah.
quickly write down so Prince wouldn't get it. Quickly. He said, oh no, Prince is not going to get this. God's going to give it to Prince if I don't work with
Yeah,
it. So I'm a
yeah,
firm believer
yeah.
of that.
Oh,
And I've
yeah.
seen that in a
Yeah.
situation. I'm like, you know what? I had that same mindset.
You had the idea, and then you sat on it, and then you'll see it.
Comes out.
I'm trying to tell you, I didn't see it
Yep.
happen too. I didn't see it happen too. So that's real. That's true.
Definitely.
That's true.
You cannot sleep on that
Nah,
gift.
nah.
You cannot sleep on what God sends to you. It's a message. You need
Yeah.
to use it.
Yeah, and God just want the information to get out there. So if you're gonna find another vehicle to get it through out there.
He will. He definitely will. Oh yeah.
So yeah, man. Look, so and I'm glad you're being creative and expressing, because like by you doing what you're doing, there's so many other people that when they see us do what we do,
Yes.
we inspire them to start to share what they got. You know.
That's what I want my music. That's what I want
Yeah.
my life to be, a testimony for others.
Right.
To realize what they can do. They can definitely do it.
Right.
It is possible.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
here for a reason.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. So we just had I had my first showcase. We had it here at the same building called Artist Access Experience. Beautiful show. I plan on doing another one in a couple of months. I would love to have you on this next showcase.
I would love that.
Yes. It's pretty much the artists that I have on the experience is pretty much the people that I have on this show.
Okay.
So it's like, this is like it's like a closed session. And so with the experience, we allow people to come and actually experience the artist,
Yes.
So I would love to have you on that next Artist Access Experience. Yeah.
Oh, yes, that would be my pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So before we get up out of here, let the audience know where they can find you. You're going to talk to them right here on this one here.
Yes, definitely. Okay.
Give them your social medias, all that good stuff.
Social media, IG, TheRosie BUSH. That's The Rosie Bush. You can also Google me for any and everything that I've done. All of my work, Rosie Bush, ROSIE BUSH. Facebook, The Rosie Bush. Twitter, I am The Rosie Bush everywhere. So you can find me and check out my latest track more often.
Yeah. So if they Google Rosie Bush, the movie gonna pop up too?
Yes, definitely. One, because I'm on the soundtrack. So the soundtrack's going to pop up. If you Google False Prophets, Rosie Bush, the whole entire soundtrack is going to come up. And it's a very good soundtrack.
I'm going to check that out when I get home today.
Yes.
Yes. So, okay, man, I can't wait to see you perform for us a little bit later on the show as well. Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. So you're looking, man. Y'all don't go nowhere because we got some more artists in the building and the artists will be performing. So y'all stay tuned because this is the Artist Access and your access has now been granted. Yeah. Welcome back to the Artist Access. I am here with my next guest of the day. He is not new to the platform, but he is new to our new location. We have with us none other than William Campbell, the king of the gospel and R&B. What's going on, my brother?
All is well. All is well. Great to be back for the second time. New location. Yeah. Man, you're a busy man, bro. You're on like a little interview tour. I didn't see you doing a lot of interviews lately. Yeah, the record label got me on a big radio and TV tour because I just released the new album.
Okay.
The Musical Evolution that came out on Easter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you on a little tour. That's what I've been seeing going on. You promoting a new album going on.
Yeah,
okay.
You got to do that.
Yeah. And you was out of town a couple weeks ago.
Well, I just got back in town Wednesday.
So you promoting out of town?
Well, I'm traveling, performing, I'm doing all this. So I'm in and out.
What number album you on right now, bro?
This is number 5. But I also wrote other songs for other people's albums as well.
Right.
So I got a lot of music out. I think this album makes almost close to 30 songs out.
Yeah.
That I got out there.
Yeah. How you enjoying this journey, man, as an artist, bro? Yeah, you having a time of your life? Talk about it, man.
It's tiring. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of grind. It's a lot of no rest and no sleep.
Right.
But I mean, it all pays off. I mean, I've been doing this all my life, so I've been touring now for the last 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And so the artist life, I mean, it's very demanding. But you can't please everybody. You try to make sure you do and accommodate your fans and all that kind of stuff. But you also got to accommodate record labels and entertainment companies. So it's like you got a lot of obligations, a lot of people that you answer to, a lot of people that you got to work with. So it can be tiring, but I mean it's doable.
Yeah,
it's doable.
I mean, wouldn't you say that you kind of walking in purpose, right?
Right.
With your music, right? Yeah. You think you was called to do this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was. I've been doing this. I mean, I came out the womb doing this.
Yeah.
I came out the womb doing this. I mean, I mean, I grew up in a family of singers and artists and, just came from all different backgrounds. So, I mean, it was natural and, all in the DNA for me. So.
So tell me some of the most exciting parts of the journey. Like you kind of gave us like the tyrant parts of it and it being demanding. Tell me what some of the things that you actually love and what keeps you actually in the game and doing what you're doing.
I mean, you got a lot of power, so you can do a lot.
He said you got a lot of power. You like the power. You're addicted to the power.
I mean, it's. One thing I say, being the king and originator of genre music globally. I mean, I have a lot of power to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I mean, the power of the fame life. I mean, it has its pros and its cons. It's not
right.
always glamorous. What people, looking on the outside, looking through a glass window. Don't get it twisted. It's not all what people make it to be, or all what it looks like. What you see us doing. But I mean, there's a lot of benefits to it, and then the main thing is being an impact. I mean, being able to change somebody's life with the music that you do, and be an inspiration. I mean, be uplifting, because you never know what nobody's going through, But always remain relatable in your message, and that's what I've tried to do. Not tried, but have done in all these years of me, putting out music and albums and stuff. I know my music is very different, but it's very powerful. It's very universal, and it reaches all people, all backgrounds. And I just speak from the heart. I mean, I sing from the heart. That's why you can hear the soul. Because, I mean, you're singing through things that you've been through, things that you've gone through, things that you've overcome. And so the pros of it is, I mean, always being able to be an impact and really leaving a legacy for people to follow long after you're gone. I mean, I haven't got plenty of awards. I mean, I got plenty presidential awards, White House awards, 2 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Awards. I got Icon Awards, Living Legend Awards. Just got, some more awards this year. So, I mean, you gonna always get awards. I mean, in this industry, I mean, well, I can't speak for everybody, but for myself. I mean, I didn't got a glow of them. I mean, from Congress, House of Representatives, and I even got a National Day. So, I mean, your impact, I mean, touches everywhere. Right. And so when people see that, I mean, they want to honor you. They want to respect you. They want to give you your flowers while you're living. I mean, don't wait till I'm dead. Right. To honor me, because I can't do nothing with it.
Yeah. Give me my flowers now.
And sure don't give it to my family, because they ain't done hell.
Yeah.
They won't know what to do with it.
Right.
So I mean, that's.
So this new album you got, man. Some of the cuts you got on the album.
8. There was 8 songs on this album.
Some titles you got. What you talking about on this project, brother?
It's So we're talking about so this album, really, we wanted to express what gospel soul actually was and the depths of gospel soul. And so it was a mixture of gospel soul, my genre, pop, funk, rock and roll, soul, all of that. And then we also have 2 line dances on the album as well. Okay. So we have a funk line dance called Let's Groove. And then we have another one that is really the first ever rock and roll line dance song called Rockin' and Rollin'. And then basically the whole album, I mean, it tells a story. It's like a journey. I have a song on there called My Journey, which really talks about my life and my journey through life and the things that I've been through, the things that I've conquered, the things that I have to face. Being where I'm at today, I mean, it's a price to pay. It don't come cheap. It don't come easy. And so just that song talking about my journey. Then you got one that's talking about in his presence. You got one talking about power. You got another one talking about fight. You got a My Journey reprise, and then you have one that we did as a tribute to Sam Cooke. So we actually got the license, the record label got the license for A Change Is Gonna Come. So actually making money off of that. Okay. But I did it in my own way with just an organ and orchestra. And right now, A Change Is Gonna Come tribute is actually number 1 on the album right now. And we've already hit internationally. Overseas, United Kingdom, Germany, South Africa.
And then like the one you pushing right now, like the first single on the album.
Huh?
Is that like the first single on the album?
The Change Gonna Come?
Yeah.
No, that's not one of the singles. Actually, right now, the record label, we're in the process of picking the 2 singles that's going to come off that album.
Okay.
What I'm looking at is Rockin' and Rollin'.
The line dance song.
And Power.
Yeah.
But you know, when you signed, you know.
They kind of make them decisions for you, huh?
I mean, you get a little say-so here and there. I mean, but, you know, it's whatever. We know the industry. Whatever makes money.
Right.
Whatever sells.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever is going to stick with people. So, you know, I think that's pretty much how you have to go about it when picking it. Because, I mean, you can have a whole fire album, and sometimes they'll pick the song that you don't even like.
Right.
And choose that as the single, and that sell millions and go all over the world, and you like, I don't even like singing this song.
Right.
I'm just being honest. I mean, a lot of times there's so many artists that sing songs that they don't even like singing, and be a hit song.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you just, you know, now independent, you do what you want to do. But when you sign these labels,
how long you been signed with this label here?
So I'm actually signed to 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm signed to one record label that's out in Detroit, that's connected with Universal and Sony, and then I'm signed to another entertainment company that's out of Europe, and they're the ones that actually created the BBC Plus. That's over there in Europe, over 150 million people. And then I just signed recently with another management group that's with Universal. They work with Brandy and Glorilla and NLE Chopper and all of them folk. And so the record label, I've been signing them since 2023.
Right.
And the other 2 is recent.
Okay. Yeah, brother. So what song you gonna sing for us today? What we get the pleasure of hearing from you today, man?
You know, I was trying to decide which ones I wanted to sing, because, you know, I've been singing nonstop. And I'm like, do I have to really sing today? But I'm going to sing.
Yes, sir. You got, yeah.
So I'm going to do Let's Groove. I was thinking about doing Let's Groove, Change Will Come, but we can do Let's Groove.
Okay. What if I Change Gonna Come? Can we get Change Gonna Come? That's one of my favorite songs, brother.
I know it's one of your favorites. Everybody's favorite song.
Nah, I ain't gonna, look.
I mean, we can do Let's Groove if we got
like
time.
singing,
we can do Let's Groove. We got time. I'll throw a Change is gonna come in just for you. So we'll do those 2. Yeah,
okay.
just for you.
Okay. I feel special, goddamn.
Just for you, just because you asked. I don't do that for everybody.
All right, brother. So look, man. Before we get up out of here, let the people know where they can find a new project at, the new album, some tour dates you got popping up, all of that good stuff, man. Let the folks know.
So, the new album is called The Musical Evolution, William P. Campbell, the King of Gospel Soul. And it's on Spotify, it's on Deezer, it's on Pandora. I believe it's on Tidal, it's on Qobuz over in Paris, France, and that hits over 26 countries. And then it's also on iHeartRadio as well. Apple Music, Amazon Music, we're still waiting on the link, so I'm not sure if it's uploaded on there yet, but it's also on YouTube as well. So you can go to those different platforms, find the album. You can also follow me on Facebook, William Campbell. You can follow me on Instagram, The King of Gospel Soul. For bookings, you can email The King of Gospel Soul, mgmt@gmail.com.
Yeah. We got the king in the building, y'all. So
yes,
look
sir.
Here. Y'all don't go nowhere, because when we come back, these artists will be performing.
Yes,
so
indeed.
look, man, y'all stay tuned, because this is the Artist Access, and your access has now been granted.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The first time I saw you, I was out with my crew. It was a Friday night. You had nothing to do, so my homegirl invited you out. So you came out. We all met up at this karaoke spot. It was right up the block. It was not that far. It was right in between everything. And you walked in, and my homegirl said, "That's him." I said, "Ooh, girl, he's so fine." Yeah. Ooh, girl, does he belong to anyone? My smile introduced us. My name is Rosie. Yours is Ryan. The night was magic, and it was so right on time. I wasn't looking for anything or anyone serious, but you changed my mind. I never thought again would my heart be so curious, but you shined your light. Yeah, I would like to see you more often. I like to see you more often. I like to see you more often. I would like to see you more often. I like to see you more often. I like to see you more often. The next time I saw you was a brief encounter. I was at a Kroger paying a bill. You saw me up through the crowd. I was up at the counter. I was so impressed that you noticed me, because when we met, I noticed you. You were so cute. So you walked up to me like, hey, Miss Rosie, how you doing? It's been a minute. How you been? I know our schedules may not go hand in hand, but I was wondering, we can talk sometime and hang out for a while, because I'm digging your vibe. And I said, yeah, that's cool, but I work a lot. I'm a full-time mom. I hope you don't mind. He said, that's alright. I work overtime, and my son is too, so I feel you. I would like to see you more often. I like to see you more often. I like to see you more often. I would like to see you more often. I 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 like to see you more often. More often.
Thank you.
All right. I want to let you know there are two things that I need each and every day of my life. There are two things that I need each and every day of my life just to get by. And those two things are love and alcohol. Yes, because it make me feel focused, motivated, inspired, happy, and sometimes relaxed. No cap, all right? Because I know if I have those two things each and every day, if I have those two things, love and alcohol, if I have those two things on that day, I know I will be sleeping good on that night. Thank you. Thank you.
I was born
in a little tin, oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yeah, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me, don't you hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, will you help me please? But then he winds up knocking me back down on life. There were times that I thought I wouldn't last for long, but now I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
This show. Come on, Kyle Blue. Come back on right quick, man. Hey, man. It's been a long time since we had William Campbell on the show, right? But, man, we had an amazing show. I mean, all of these artists are amazing. Y'all make sure y'all follow these dope artists. They are amazing, and they all got something to bring to this thing called creativity. So I am Siraj Rich God, and this is the Artist Access, and your access has now been granted. Yeah.